Good morning. Today is December 10th, and we are looking at what today's lesson is. So you will need your Explore Learning username and password that you received on Monday in your email. The email subject is Science Announcement. I sent it. Yesterday, during our Google Meet, we double checked that we all had it and we were able to log in. So it should be in your planner because I asked you to write it in your planner, but if it's not in your planner, please open up your email and get your username and your password because you will need that for today's lesson. So today's lesson, we're talking about solar system. So we are exploring the solar system. You are all going to be little astronauts going to outer space, at least simulated. So no spacesuits needed. You are going to work to classify and compare the planets based on 4 different things: their location, their size, their orbit speed, and their composition. So before you get on the Google Meet after yesterday's technical issues, I would like you to open up this Explore Learning tab and this Google Doc. I'm thinking if you open them prior to the meet that they will load so that way you don't have to wait for them to load. We'll at least try it and see if it works. So you are going to need the Explore Learning tab open, and then you are going to need the Google Doc open. So you will have 2 tabs you are going back and forth in between today. So let me log in. Remember the Explore Learning, your log in. It is case sensitive. So most of you have 2 capitals, right? Your first letter in your first name and then your last name's initial. And then the password is lowercase, no spaces. And this is the screen that it should come to. So you will see that you have an Explore Learning Gizmo ready to launch right here. You have the lesson info going over what you need to do and what your learning objectives are for the day, and the vocabulary that we are going to be using. So you're going to list the planets in order from closest to the sun to furthest away. You're going to classify them either as rocky or gas giants. You're going to observe the scale of the solar system, describe the shape of the planet's orbits, measure each planet's period of revolution. So remember, revolution is how long it takes to orbit the sun. Compare the size of the planets, and then we are not going to look at the atmosphere. I want you to find one interesting fact about each planet. And then the vocabulary is atmosphere, ellipse, gas giant, orbit, planet, rocky planet, solar system, and year. So if I go, let's go back to the screen, we are going to launch our gizmo. So if you just click on the launch button, it is going to launch your gizmo. So let's take a look at our Google Doc of what you need to complete. So you are going to type right in this. You have your own copy, so you can type right into the Google Doc. So our prior knowledge questions you need to do before the gizmo. It is okay if you do not know. These are questions that I just want you to answer based on the knowledge you already have. So I'd like you to name the planets you can think of. So list all the planets you can think of. Do not look them up. I want it from your brain. Then I want you to tell me what objects in the center of the solar system. You should remember that from last time. And then what force keeps the planets from flying out of the solar system? So those 3 questions need to be completed before you move on to the gizmo. Once you've completed those questions, we are going through these instructions. So remember, you can use the Read Write Google app if you need to highlight and have them read the text to you if you are more of an auditory learner than reading. So on the solar system gizmo, check the orbit tab is selected. At first, you can see only the 4 inner planets. The distances of the planets to the sun are to scale, but sizes are not. So you want to check to make sure that the orbit tab is selected. You can see there's a size tab and an orbit tab. So you can see there are 4 planets and our sun. Move the cursor over each planet to learn its name. What are the 4 inner planets? And you will type in your answers. So if you notice, I'll put it over the sun. When you put your cursor over there, it tells you the name. So you're going to hover over each planet and record its name. The next one says to click the minus button in the upper right-hand corner 3 times to zoom out. So you're going to, it's not in the upper, it is in the lower right-hand corner. You're going to click this minus button 3 times and you should see the other planets appear. So you're going to do the same thing. You are going to write the 4 outer planets' names. Then that was just a warm-up. Activity A. We're going to get the gizmo ready. So again, you have to check the orbit is selected. Yep. Next thing says click the O button to reset the zoom level. So the O button's down here. Click that. Next thing says be sure that the speed is set to slow. Speed is set to slow. And then it says turn on show orbits. So I'm going to check show orbits. Looking at that picture, then you are going to make some observations. Question is, how long is a year on each planet? The path a planet takes around the sun is called an orbit. Planets move in orbits because of the sun's gravity, a force pulling inward toward the sun. Click play. So there's the play button down here. I'm not going to click it because I want you to be able to do this. You're going to tell me what the shape of the orbits are. And then you are going to tell me which one looks least like a circle. All while it's still playing. Then 2, this is where it gets a little tricky. You are going to click reset right down here. And you are going to measure how long it takes each planet to travel around the sun. Notice that the date shown below the simulation is today's date. So notice, although I'm recording this on the 9th, it would be 12/10/2020 down here. So you can type in today's date all the way down on the chart because we need that data. Then it says drag an arrow from the left of the gizmo and place it next to Mercury. The arrows are found in the toolbox. This is where I was a little confused. So to help you out, the toolbox is right over here. If you open it, you have arrows. You're going to take one and drag it and point it towards Mercury. Oops. The best you can. There we go. And let it go. You can then move it later, but you need it pointing towards Mercury right now. Click play. When Mercury completes one orbit, so it reaches the arrow, click pause. So then you are going to click play and click pause the best you can. Now I know it's not exact, but see how Mercury went around once and came back? So then you are going to record the day. So month 3, day 3, year 2021. So you're going to record the date it took to make one orbit. So it started today, 12/10/2020, and it ended on 3/3/2021. You are going to do that for each planet. So then after you do Mercury, you're going to move to the next planet. You're going to click reset. Oops. When I reset first, move your arrow, click play. You're waiting for that planet to come back around to where your arrow is, and then click pause and record the date. So you should be recording different orbit dates all the way down this column. Today's date will be the same, but different orbit dates. You're going to do the same thing for every single planet. You will have to zoom out for the outer planets. So just like before, you will have to zoom out to see the outer planets. But you are going to do that for every planet. So then it says, think, a year is the time it takes a planet to complete one orbit. Why does it take the outer planets so long to orbit the sun? So I want you to look at this data, look at the solar system, and tell me, what are you thinking? Why do you think it takes so long for them to orbit? Okay, activity B is where we are going to compare the planets. So now you are no longer in the orbit tab. It says to click the size tab. So you're going to click size. And you can get rid of that arrow by dragging it back up. So then it says, what are interesting features of each planet? Look closely at the diagram of planets. Based on the diagram, list the planets from smallest to largest. So you're going to list each one of the 8 planets in order from smallest to largest by looking at this picture. So do your best. Then you're going to compare them, how the rocky planets compare to the gas giants in size. And then our final thing we are going to do is you're going to click on each planet and read about it. If you click on each planet, it gives you a little blurb about each planet. I want you to read it and then pick out one interesting fact from each planet and write about it in your own words here. Once you've completed those 8 facts, I want you to think, what planet do you think it would be easiest for humans to colonize? And why? I need you to explain your thinking. Make sure you support your answer. Once you are done with those 2 activities, you may click the Turn In button so I can look at your information. You are not done though. Notice I said you need to complete the 5-question assessment below the gizmo to check your understanding. So if you scroll down, there are 5 questions, assessment questions. They will automatically score for you. Once you have completed them, please click check your answers. I will see your results and you will see your results. So please take your time on them. If you have any questions, of course, email me, guys. We're going to walk through this during the meet. My hope is for you to be able to actually work in a breakout room together in a meet. Hopefully, technology will work with us and we'll be able to do that. So that is your activity for Thursday, December 10th. Bye. Have a good day.